Sally Field's life, at 78, is a tapestry of triumph, heartache, and resilience. Behind the iconic roles, the laughter, and the Hollywood glamour lies a story shaped by early trauma, complex family dynamics, and moments of personal danger that few could imagine. From the letters she kept from her father to the highs of Academy Awards and the lows of abusive relationships, her journey reflects the universal struggle between vulnerability and strength. Her story is not just about fame, but about how a human being navigates adversity, finds purpose, and transforms pain into art, advocacy, and love for family. Sally Field's life reminds us that resilience often emerges quietly amid ordinary choices and extraordinary challenges. Childhood marked by fragility. Sally Field's earliest years were shaped by instability and conditional love. Born in Pasadena in 1946, she experienced her parents' divorce at a tender age, an event that shattered her sense of security. In the 1950s, divorce carried stigma, intensifying the emotional weight on young children. Her mother, Margaret Field, a working actress, was often preoccupied with career and appearances, while her father, Richard Field, provided structure without warmth. This duality left Sally suspended between worlds, one glamorous but distant, the other disciplined but emotionally unavailable. Early experiences of inconsistency, unpredictability, and fleeting affection created a deep longing for connection and understanding. The foundation of her childhood, fragmented and fragile, instilled both sensitivity and a keen awareness of human complexity. These formative years would later influence her ability to embody nuanced characters, turning personal pain into compelling emotional expression on stage and screen. Pain within the home. While absence shaped Sally's childhood, the deepest wounds came from betrayal. Her mother's remarriage to Jock Mahoney introduced abuse into her life, experiences largely unseen by others. Mahoney's charm masked darker behaviors, leaving lasting scars that shaped Sally's understanding of love, trust, and safety. Compounding this trauma was her mother's silence, which reinforced feelings of invisibility and neglect. In her memoir, In Pieces, Sally reflects on the long-term emotional impact of this period, acknowledging how it influenced her personal and professional relationships. Yet even amid suffering, a lifeline appeared in acting. It became a means to escape, to explore emotions safely, and to express truths she could not articulate in her own home. Acting offered Sally a voice where silence had dominated, planting seeds for both resilience and artistry. Her early pain became the hidden foundation of her later success, informing the depth of emotion she would bring to every role. Acting as refuge for young Sally, acting was never just about ambition or fame. It was a survival mechanism. Performance provided a space where she could temporarily inhabit other lives, explore emotions safely, and distance herself from trauma. Drama classes, sets, and improvisation became sanctuaries where fear and pain could be transformed into creative energy. Through acting, she discovered language for experiences that had gone unspoken, learning to channel vulnerability into expression. Each character she played allowed her to experiment with identity and agency in a world that had often rendered her powerless. This early relationship with performance instilled not only skill, but also emotional resilience. Acting was a protective mechanism that evolved into a craft. The sanctuary she found on stage and screen eventually became a vehicle for personal growth, self-affirmation, and the ability to connect authentically with audiences worldwide. Navigating early fame. Sally Field's first major role in Gidget, 1965, brought instant recognition, but also the pressures of being typecast. Public perception as a wholesome, bubbly girl next door conflicted with her private reality of unresolved trauma and personal grief. 2 years later, The Flying Nun amplified her visibility, cementing her image as playful and innocent. Yet behind the wide-brimmed habit and television charm, she felt constrained and unseen, struggling to reconcile external expectation with her inner self. By the age of 19, the tension between public persona and private identity left her depressed and questioning her path. Early fame, rather than liberating, became a source of emotional conflict. Despite the accolades and attention, Sally confronted the gap between who she was being asked to portray and who she truly was. These years taught her the critical lesson that recognition and fulfillment are not synonymous. a truth that would later drive her toward roles of emotional depth and authenticity. Choosing growth over comfort. At the height of sitcom fame, Sally made the difficult decision to walk away from television, a choice that shocked Hollywood insiders. She rejected offers for lighthearted roles for nearly 3 years, risking her career to pursue meaningful artistic growth. This period of absence was not rebellion, but deliberate reclamation of her voice. By stepping away, she allowed herself the space to explore dramatic range, confront unresolved emotions, and cultivate skills that would define her later work. Sally's willingness to risk obscurity demonstrated courage and foresight, a refusal to let public expectation dictate her trajectory. This choice laid the groundwork for authentic performances, where vulnerability, emotional truth, and personal experience could shine. It underscored a principle that would guide her throughout her career. Professional success is most valuable when aligned with personal integrity and emotional honesty. Method acting and transformation. Immersing herself in the Lee Strasberg Actors Studio in the early 1970s, Sally embraced the rigorous demands of method acting. The process required confronting personal trauma and translating it into authentic emotional expression. Night after night, she mined memories of pain, silence, and abandonment, testing her resilience and capacity to bear emotional intensity. The work was exhausting, sometimes frightening, and often left her questioning her place in Hollywood. Yet it was transformative, equipping her with the ability to inhabit complex characters fully. This period of rigorous training allowed Sally to break free from typecasting and develop a dramatic presence capable of nuance and depth. Method acting was not just a technique, but a vehicle for self-reclamation, turning vulnerability into power and preparing her to deliver performances that would captivate audiences and critics alike. Breakthrough performances. Sally's talent gained broad recognition with the 1976 television movie Sybil, portraying a woman with dissociative identity disorder. Each of Sybil's 13 personalities reflected the emotional fragments of Sally's own experiences, making the role both terrifying and cathartic. Her portrayal demanded confronting deep personal pain while sustaining performance under immense scrutiny. The role earned critical acclaim and her first Emmy, validating both her skill and the emotional courage required to transform trauma into art. Sybil marked the transition from television star to serious dramatic actress, establishing her capacity for complex, emotionally resonant performances. This breakthrough demonstrated that Sally could channel lived experiences into compelling storytelling, solidifying her reputation as an actor capable of profound authenticity and emotional depth. The project was a turning point, signaling her arrival as a performer who could transcend prior limitations. Love, loss, and relationships. While her career flourished, Sally's personal life was marked by both joy and heartbreak. Her first marriage to Stephen Craig brought 2 sons, Peter and Eli, but ultimately ended in divorce, teaching her that love alone cannot always sustain a relationship. Later, her passionate connection with Burt Reynolds was intense, yet fraught with insecurity and conflict. Despite public admiration, Reynolds sometimes undermined her ambitions, leaving Sally to navigate the complexities of affection, partnership, and self-respect. These experiences shaped her understanding of love as both rewarding and fragile. Each relationship, whether fleeting or enduring, contributed to her growth and awareness, reinforcing the importance of self-advocacy, emotional boundaries, and the pursuit of meaningful connections. They also deepened her capacity for empathy, informing both personal choices and the nuanced portrayals she brought to her work on screen. Motherhood and family anchor. Sally's marriage to producer Alan Greenman brought stability and the birth of her youngest son, Sam. Motherhood provided continuity and grounding amid the turbulence of fame and professional demands. Even after her marriage ended in 1994, her children remained central to her life, offering unconditional love and a sense of purpose. Later, as a grandmother, Sally found renewed joy and fulfillment in nurturing the next generation. Family became a source of resilience, shaping her priorities and offering perspective beyond career achievements. Through these intimate bonds, she cultivated patience, presence, and the ability to cherish quiet moments. Sally's dedication to family reflects a broader principle that personal fulfillment often resides in connection, care, and the cultivation of enduring relationships rather than external accolades. Conclusion: a life of resilience. Sally Field's journey demonstrates the enduring strength of the human spirit. from childhood trauma to Hollywood acclaim, personal loss, and health challenges. She has navigated life with courage, authenticity, and unwavering commitment to truth and family. Her story reminds us that hardship does not preclude joy, love, or achievement. Instead, resilience emerges through self-awareness, emotional honesty, and the courage to embrace vulnerability. Sally's life encourages reflection on how pain, when faced and transformed, can fuel artistry, advocacy, and meaningful relationships. Beyond awards and performances, her legacy is one of compassion, fortitude, and authenticity, a testament to enduring strength amid life's trials.